What is up, guys? Kevin Cage here with another XRP update. Full disclosure, this will be one of the most unorganized videos I've done this year, but you will not be disappointed. Put it on 2x playback speed if you can get through this. I know all the XRP veterans that have been here for a few years will find this very, very valuable. But first, I want to share some words of wisdom, and then we're going to discuss why some of these articles have been removed on Ripple's website. I can't find them. If you guys are good at digging, you can find any dead links and revive them. Please shoot them my way. My email is in the video description. So, first off, with some words of wisdom, just general, advice and self-talk to me too. The cool thing about trading and investing, you don't have to swing at everything to be successful. You don't have to own every single asset. You don't have to take every single available trade. Wait for your pitch. If you wanted to wait for a massive dump to attack, or at least until you can see some retracement levels and gauge the next point, go for it. Do not let anybody make you feel rushed, guys. Sometimes the best thing to do is nothing at all. Just want to reassure anybody that feels like they always have to be buying something or always have to be selling something in order to make moves. False. Follow your gut, be patient, let everything come to you. All right. So right here, David C. Mills, Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System. This is shared by Anders L. on Twitter. You can follow him at X_Anderson. Interlinkages, interoperability between payments and security settlement systems. This is back in 2013, and I'm sure you guys remember, we have videos going over even the 2015 commentary, 2014 commentary of David Mills specifically mentioning Ripple in this encrypted dollar to euro system. Why were these articles removed? Now, I don't want you guys to think I'm some nut job. I think I'm kind of rational. You guys take this and do with it what you will, and let's kind of keep moving here. So obviously, he was at Ripple's 2020 annual event talking about central bank digital currencies driving towards digital. This is a multi-pronged approach. David Mills, Federal Reserve Board. We have a few other people from the ECB, University Law Center, etc. And of course, he has a variety of papers talking about payment systems involving a number of interconnected systems that center around a large value payment system through which banks send funds to each other. I'm talking about clearing, settlement, you name it, of fundamental interest to central banks are the interlinkages, okay? Now I just think kind of interoperability, connectivity among these types of systems. So he's been exploring this for quite some time, all right? And we also have Matthew L.I.N.Y. pointing out, MUFG, that 37, maybe almost $40 trillion think tank today. We obviously know, right on their website, they have Ripple and Algorand, so should not be surprised. But of course, monetary policy, anything in between, it's just a think tank of behemoths in the space. So just wanted to point that out. And then even this quote of Brad Garlinghouse, this is shared by digital asset investor and Luffy. If you want to create an internet of value, an IOV, instead of just sending information, you need to connect the repositories of value. The repositories of value are the banks, or all these organizations that essentially custody the wealth today. You need to, let's say, build roads between them so they can flow, so the money can flow. Just think of water, so to speak, and that's why I like that in the age of Aquarius, as silly as that sounds, we have Ripple. It's very water-based. Ripple, it used to be X-Rapid, on-demand liquidity. There's just an underlying water narrative. We even used to have the old terminology of X-Pool as well. Matthew L.I.N.Y. Think tanks such as MUFG have influence in policy making or swaying lawmakers, political donations, blah, blah, blah. And look who is here as well. You can see David Mills. Coincidence? No, not at all. Okay, and then also thanks to Darren and the Algorand community, just want to point this out, we got Accenture, early Ripple investor, Novi, SDX, Algorand, we got Ripple, got all these big players involved, so just wanted to show you that. And then actually, let's just go to MUFG's website, we'll click home, and then let's see, MUFG, we'll click about, and just want to show you what I was talking about right here. Investable assets of $39.5 trillion at the heart of this network. At the heart of this network, this is the same verbiage that Task Group uses, a network provider for the European, essentially the entire Euro system. And they're partnered with Ripple, so makes you wonder. Okay, and my strategy, guys, I'm not a moon boy. I truly just see kind of fib targets based off of previous historical data. I own enough crypto that even with conservative targets, I do exceptionally well. And with the high targets, amazing. I'm not going to complain one bit. So you guys can be a realist if that makes you feel more mature, whatever. I'm not going to set a limit. I'm not going to set a price limit for this asset class because this asset class will swallow all others. We're at the very beginning of this. So we've never been here before. I'm not going to act like I know exactly how it ends and the exact path it's going to take. I'm just betting that it grows massively year over year. All right. So we have that. Now, I did want to reference this. So this is a video I did, let's see, back in October of 2020. Just want to highlight a few things because we're going to be covering Brazil today. So speaking of the Federal Reserve Board, well, they announced approval of application by Banco Bradesco out of Brazil. Okay, interesting. We know that Brazil is going to be a central part of the ODL strategy for Ripple. We're going to keep moving. DLocale, RippleNet partner, back in the day, entered 3 new markets in Latin America and the Caribbean, and we're going to cover them today as well with their big IPO. It's not a coincidence. There's a method to the madness. On DLocale.com, we also know Ripple is a partner along with Earthport that was acquired by Visa for hundreds of millions of dollars for good reason. Chris Larson discusses Earthport, Swift, Ripple. Who else? There was a few other organizations that he would just kind of go over time and time again because this is the hub and spoke model, multi-currency approach, the perfect partner for Ripple, of course. Okay, right here, David Mills, right in the same video, Reserve Bank Operations and Payment Systems. You can see his education, digital currencies, and distributed ledgers central clearing. Okay, and this is all in the same video. This is 16 minutes, I just said, getting my feet wet in this deep dive. Right here, Stewart XRP back in 2015, the Bretton Woods Committee and the Institute for International Economic Policy. Who do we have? Oh, David Mills of the Federal Reserve. He pointed to Ripple. A dollar to euro encrypted foreign exchange network, a Forex network, is a positive example. You guys can refer back to this as well. I know we've covered this probably 589 times. Next up, even the Federal Reserve sharing this, Brazilian financial projects. Well, we already talked about the Brazilian bank, Bradesco, and also this Itaú, I don't know how to pronounce this, announced in 2019. They're working with R3 on building infrastructure, blockchain for foreign trade and insurance. Can't make this up yet again. And SBI is a major shareholder of Ripple and R3. Whether Ripple really is, if you believe the narrative that it's just going to be low value payments and remittance payments, that's fine. But R3 is still going to be capital markets, trade finance, the big money. And why on earth are all these repositories of value partnered with R3 and Ripple? Okay. And right here, MUFG, massive RippleNet partner, one of the biggest banks in the world, of course. We can see MUFG Bank and its wholly owned subsidiary, Banco MUFG Brazil, today announced the signing of an MOU with Banco Bradesco. Interoperability now between Japan and Brazil. And this is back in 2018, and I know that a lot of people don't really mention this now. And you can see MUFG's bank said it would join Ripple's solution between, let's see, Japan and Brazil, blah, blah, blah. So, wow. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that. Oh, and speaking of DLocale, yet again, Ripple client DLocale rakes in over $617 million in its US IPO. Let me retweet this really quick. So thank you for the tag, Crypto King. Wanted to point that out. And speaking of Brazil as well, because they're based out of Brazil, or they're based out of Uruguay, Montevideo, the capital. And we can actually see right here, Brazil Central Bank announces central bank digital currency plan 1 year after the Ripple meeting. And this was a fact they were discussing with, what was it, the governor of the Central Bank of Brazil. I'm talking about like Brad Garlinghouse and Team Ripple. So just wanted to point this out, available on financefeeds.com. So one of the BRICS nations, of course. And we can see right here, the central bank's guidelines for the potential development of a CBDC include. Now, this is not just XRP. It's not just, wholesale and resale banked payments or bank payments. This is everything. So check this out. Emphasis on the development of innovative business models. So really just accelerating and improving digitalization and interoperability altogether based on technological advances such as smart contracts. Okay. I'm imagining some escrow as well. Internet of Things, IoT, and programmable money. So right there with smart contracts. Use in retail payments, of course. And the ability to perform online operations and possibly offline operations. Now, stay with me because we have Stellar, the brother and sister of XRP. Stellar's AirTM investment seeds DeFi, decentralized finance opportunity in Latin American markets. Latin America is going to be very, very big for blockchain adoption. It's going to continuously grow. We can see some stats right here with Latin American e-commerce growing by 8.4% between 2019 and 2020 to over $200 billion. It's safe to assume the need for safe, fast digital payments is and will be experiencing comparable growth. Shocker. We can see the Stellar Development Foundation CEO and Executive Director Danelle Dixon, and she's also spoken at the IMF as well. And she's part of the Crypto Council, the Global Crypto Council of the World Economic Forum, side by side with Brad Garlinghouse. The Latin American opportunity is very real, as she told Payments Karen Webster in a recent conversation. Her firm's recent $15 million investment into blockchain and bank-connected digital wallets and peer-to-peer exchange platform, ATM, is not its first or its last into this region. That means something. ATM is very focused on that particular market and that user base, Dixon said. We really liked that they have a significant number of users that they've actually been able to grow in a P2P way. And they're focusing on the areas that we really care about. These areas where people do not have access to all of the tools that we take for granted. And then lastly, Stellar's fund investment arm in AirTM, she said, is essentially putting the tools into the hands of local experts. This is great for the Stellar blockchain, guys. This is not just an investment. This is not hopium. This is not wishy-washy nonsense. This right here. She noted the money Stellar's investing will go toward AirTM integrating into the Stellar platform. No small task, will itself involve bringing on additional engineers to fully enable it. From here, she said, they're going to use the funds to grow their platform via additional user acquisition. Okay, so it won't be the first, will not be the last. They will also be building out their blockchain infrastructure, leveraging all of the underlying infrastructure of other companies and participants in the network, so that they can offer more services to their users. Beautiful. And then also, Crypto Eddie sharing this, talking about just the IPO of Ripple. I know you guys are excited for this. Me personally, maybe I'm biased and you guys can do what you wish, but I think that XRP has higher earning potential than Ripple's IPO, but you just never know. Again, the vision for Ripple is to become the Amazon of payments. And Brad Garlinghouse has said, even at Consensus recently, they're going to be waiting for regulatory clarity before even going public, though. So they have to get settlements. And I'm not talking settlement. They have to get clarity in a positive light for XRP, the digital asset. So Crypto Eddie sharing this, looking at some pre-IPO pricing out there, Ripple share prices are ranging from $45 on Equity Zen to $61 on SharePost, while DLocale, who we just discussed with that $617 million, who reportedly uses on-demand liquidity, aka XRP. And also we have to keep an eye on the line of credit for XRP utilization as well for RippleNet, as a Ripple partner has a valuation of $5 billion and a projected US market share price of $16 to $18. Beautiful. Now right here, latest primary financing we can see raised, wow, $200 million raised and a $10 billion enterprise valuation. Now, this enterprise valuation was a while back, and yes, XRP's price is higher than when this valuation took off. Of course, there's a certain percentage that is kind of considered for Ripple, the company's valuation, but I'd imagine that this $10 billion is much, much higher. Remember that Coinbase, when they got their valuation around that same period, was $8 billion. And you guys know Coinbase's valuation today? It was one of the largest IPOs in history. So yes, you're right. I do believe that Ripple's valuation will be significantly higher than what we're seeing now. Okay, now I have to share this before sharing some additional Ripple news. Listen up to Raul of Real Vision Finance. Something to get your head around. Headline: a major asset class crashed 42% in 14 days, wiping out over $1 trillion in value in an orgy of liquidation of people up to 100x leveraged with very low regulation. Many tokens fell up to 70%, if not even more, including unregulated lending and borrowing business. Beneath the headline, we can see leverage liquidation was offset by over-collateralization. No one was left holding the baby. No firm went under. The Fed didn't need to step in whatsoever. DeFi didn't break, and it carried on near normal. Right here, there were no daisy chains of collateral losses, no domino effects of everything breaking and not being able to recover. This is the sign of a maturing asset class, guys, just like in terms of liquidity. Getting that strength back, just like, who was it, Michelle Bond or Monica Long of Ripple, discussing XRP's order books. And they discussed that, and then what? A few months later, XRP crashed in March 2020. And what did it do? It got back up there, developing liquidity and showing very strong strength. And as Mark Cuban says in a variety of people, when an asset class reaches $1 billion in market cap, it's here to stay. Will it be volatile? Perhaps, but it's not going anywhere. All right, so stablecoins remain stable. A few exchanges went down for an hour or two. Yeah, what's new? No exchange had big losses. No exchange big losses occurred. No need to mutualize losses either. No protocol failed. Okay, I'd have to check on that, but if they did, it's very, very down. And with DeFi, guys, it's decentralized. There's so many validators. There's nodes up. There's nothing failing or being down for, minutes or hours like we see in the banking system. No firms needed rapid funding. No one had open-ended losses. The system did not break. It offered zero systemic risk to the broader financial world. Speculators lost money, and that is it. This is what I first saw in crypto back in 2012, a new anti-fragile financial system that doesn't break in times of stress. Sounds like something that we need today, where the ownership of assets is clear and losses are not mutualized to taxpayers. Amen to that. And this is a big 2 weeks for crypto and for the future financial system. So I know some people, yes, I know some of our gains were wiped away from a few months ago, or just, 2 months ago, really. I know it's recovering nicely now, but this is showing that this asset class is going to keep bouncing. And remember, in the 2013 bull run, there were drops just like this before we kept moving higher. So take that with a grain of salt, but it does make you wonder. All right. And also in other news, we have bank account flows for South Korean crypto exchanges surge 40% since 2020. As cryptocurrency markets grew in the first quarter of 2021, South Korean banks saw record volumes of deposits and withdrawals to local crypto exchanges. Yep. And, all publicity is not always bad. There's going to be people that come in for quick money. Maybe they lose money, or, they go into, Shiba Inu and all these gambling coins. Some make money, some lose, and they actually fall for the narrative and think crypto is nothing more than just gambling. False. They're actually missing out on utility. And when utility comes, this is going to be a whole different ball game. And last but not least, guys, shared by Roth Economan. I don't know how him and Matthew Liny have so few followers. Go follow these people right now on Twitter. They have some of the best information out there. No hype, pure facts. Go check them out. So right here, big article in the, Phnom Penh Post. I don't even know how to say this. SBI LY, our bank launches cross-border money transfer service between Cambodia and Vietnam on RippleNet. Yet again, utilizing distributed ledger tech. Notes use for urban and rural low and middle income accounts, so up to $10,000. You can see right here. You can see that Ripple's mentioned throughout this. Ripple Asia, blah, 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 SBI Ripple Asia. And you can see transfer up to $10,000 US dollars to Vietnam utilizing RippleNet. Beautiful. We've discussed TP Bank in the past. And then, of course, right here at 16 pages, you can control find. We'll zoom in a little bit right there. And let me scroll over right here. So TP Bank have started the first Cambodia-Vietnam money transfer service in real currency by utilizing RippleNet, provided by SBI Ripple Asia. Now, they've been quiet. Good to see that they're getting moving again, and just wanted to share. So, Ripple Asia stated the booming Cambodian economy is one of the most attractive markets around the world. Good to see, good to see. And of course, we're going to be watching utility scan. Yes, I want the ODL volumes to grow, create a new ground floor, so XRP can never go below 50 cents, $1, $2 ever again, as it continuously rises and utility and adoption brings strong price and higher liquidity and volume. But right now, we are in court, so we are awaiting allegations. For me, though, XRP to me is one of my favorite investments of all time. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be real with you and give my real opinion, but to me, there's just too much positive to ignore, so don't get caught up in the small stuff, because it really is all small stuff. If you found any value in this video whatsoever, be sure to hit the like button, turn the bell icon notifications, whatever people say, and I will catch you in the next one.